going to be it. He's going to be finding that kill quite easily. Oh my goodness. Francis Lee, he is to try and get some kills in the top lane, but realizes he's not getting that at all. Has to back off. He's going to use his shield crash to move up onto the high ground, so there is no chase to be had. Remember, no blink dagger just yet on the TA. So, in VG are finding openings, right? They bring down CCNC. That's a critical pick. You wanna try and bring down these high net worth carries that they've got on the side of Optic, but I mean, still, it's hard to try and find the openings right now when Optic still have such a massive lead in items.
Yeah, it's so hard when the supports protect the carries so well, right? They need to be able to find the Warlock in the team fight. Same thing with the Silencer. It's just, there's a whole bunch of things they need to look out for. And unless Optic really messes up their positioning, or VGJ happen to catch them in a really like awkward spot coming up a hill on a ward or something, it just becomes so hard to fight.
Zai's picked up the double javelins now. He's got a blink dagger on top of it. Pretty core items on the Pangolier. So we're seeing Optic again making movements, just trying to take some map control. Flare is going to be used mid just to try and push it in, but they do finally get some towers at least. Vici, the solo push, and blink dagger picked up as well.
Yeah.
Onto 747. Not the worst case. Not, you know, things are turning around slowly but surely. And they've shown that they do have the means to win team fights as well.
Yes, very true. And TA also has some items now, right? It's still not where she would like to be, but it's much better than before.
Things could be worse, eventually. They could be in the previous game and calling GG in about 2 minutes time.
That's true.
Thankfully, that's not the case.
It might be 2 minutes too early to call that. You never know what could happen.
That's true. Dota's a finicky beast these days. You never know. It's all sorts of crazy stuff happening. Sometimes I look at a game of Dota and I think, when did we turn into Dota Imber? You know?
Yeah.
The Storm Spirit zipping across the map. Luna, have you seen what she can do these days? She's like spamming down bolts of things all over the place. Crazy. Dota's weird. I feel like an old man that's scared of technology.
Yeah, just technology escapes you.
I don't want it to change, you know. But they've actually got vision here onto Stan King. And they are going to be able to bring him down. Ice shards, enough damage. PPD, that's a nice little solo kill. 30 seconds, no Winter Wyvern, which means they're definitely not fighting. But they end up trading it for the tier 2 bottom. Beach here trying to pressure this up. We see a lot of TP rotations coming out. Well, it's just the one. Zai is confident that he can stop any attempts onto the racks here, while Optic still hold the enemy's territory in their jungle.
Yep, still nicely done from VG. They maneuvered on the map very well. Oh, they see him. Can they actually break the TP? Oh, it's a long TP.
So good. That's the longest TP I've seen this game so far. Zai ends up connecting it with the rolling boulder. Now they actually don't.
They've got sentries on the chicken.
Got it out, but there you go. The sentry coming out. Pycat can just burst him down with the adaptive strike in the waveform, and that taunt is just utterly ridiculous.
I love it.
You a fan of it?
I am.
It's so over the top.
The more ridiculous, the better. So what happened was 747 tried to TP to the bottom shrine, and it was like a 5 or 6 second TP. It took forever to go off. It's very, very unlucky.
Yeah. I mean, if he TP'd back home, it might not be in the case, but I cottoned onto it, rolling boulder forward, doubling dagger, and that kill fooled them. So now, once again, Optica, they are finding the, you know, the odd strange pickup every now and then, the old pick off. It feels like Vici still aren't particularly comfortable enough to be fair to them, you know, they're cutting the waves out. You can see Snake King in the mid lane just going to be trying to prevent as much push as he possibly can, but you know, Optic have now grouped up as a 5. They're looking to try and at least pressure this tier 3, maybe force a few of them around, take a team fight or two. But Vici are playing this reasonably well, not trying to get picked off again like they have been in the past.
Yep, they're still farming, and they're making good plays, cutting creep waves, playing the map pretty decently, but at some point they're going to have to answer to Optic just walking up the hill, especially around the next Aegis timer, right? They'll be forced to fight.
Right. It's troubling for them. I mean, as well on the side of Optic, they've got so much catch potential with the Morphling, the PBD as well. It can snowball as many people in as he really wants. The shards catching people out. Zai, not to mention, the amount of lockdown that Pangolier has is utterly ridiculous in a lot of ways. So it's a tough game for Vici to try and position themselves, but still we can see it. Again, Snake King just farming up, pushing in these lanes, cutting the waves out, and just trying to farm up the next big items.
Yep, speaking of items, what do we have coming up? Pycat just picked up his Hurricane Pike, working on Scotty. Oh, there's the global.
Whoa. Okay, there might be a kill kipping off here. Snake King, and indeed, he's dead. He's gone. Global Silence is committed for that one. They bring him down. That's 55 seconds. Does have a buyback. Not the worst case in the world, but that's at least going to force Optic, I think, maybe to try and go for a push here. Force that buyback off. And then see what I can get out of it.
Yeah, it's still very hard to push into these heroes. Winter Wyvern, great outspin. If you clump up on the hill too much, you can get hit by the Winter's Curse. Even TA can kind of stand her ground and always just blink out because Optic, they don't really have an instant stun, right? The Snowball has to travel. Zai's up.
But Zai's just cancelled the TP up. Oh my goodness. Again, he spotted it. Stops it off. Zai goes for the shield crash. So much damage already put into him. And already Flare's he's going to get stunned up as well from the homing missile. Chase is not on, but he cancels the TP, and now Optic, they realize he's in that area. You can already see the rotation starting to happen as PBD and Kitrak are going to start to make movements, but Zai might just get this solo kill by himself. He's trying to dodge and juke it, but you can't dodge the Pangolier, my man. He just zips into the fray, does that ugly taunt, and gets away with it.
Yeah, if you cannot escape when this hero's chasing. And alright, that's 50 seconds, no gyro.
They're actually on the tail of 747 as well. Nothing to cancel this TP, in fact, because it just blinked into the tree line. But yeah, that's a lot of time without the gyro. They can't really take an objective off the back of it. I think you're right in saying that Roshan's probably the next big objective here. Unless Sai just gets another kill in the top lane as well. He's going for the rolling boulder around the corner. Nice Force Staff to dodge it out from Snaking, but the shield crash is going to spot him as well. Zai hot on his tail, and they are going to get another one as well on top of it. 60 seconds now, but now the rotation's coming in by Vici. So is Zai as comfortable, as confident as he might think? I don't think so now, as we see them moving in, and that melt damage on top of the Desolator. Zai just melts. He was super confident. He was a little bit cocky, dare I say, just waiting and farming up that lane.
Yeah, but a lot of gold going Tia's way. She's going for the Hurricane Pike next, so she'll have some component of that. But yeah, Roshan is definitely on the table next, and VGJ know what's up because they have a trap in the pit. Well, this is quite the ambitious kill.
They're certainly going for this one in the top lane. The meld is going to stop him. PBD, I don't think he recognizes. Was it out of vision? Running around. Not quite certain. But now the sense is placed. They knew exactly what was up, and they're going to get it easily. Pycat rotates around. The whole squad, in fact, turned up. And another kill for them. And it feels like Optic are just getting these pickoffs all the bloody time. Like Vici, of course, what do you do in SNR? You can't exactly 5-man. You're going to fall even further behind in gold and items against this draft, which you don't really want. But the trouble is, now that TA's down, Roshan's up. If you start bringing this down fast enough, Vici can't even contest it.
Yep, they've got the Solar Crest too, Morphling, tons of damage. No way they can contest this rush. They might try for steal though. Maybe Sanking will try to blink stun, or Clockwork will throw out the hook shot.
Hook? Oh, we've seen it. They've got a trap. They know exactly how far this should be falling. I mean, they're in the area. Are they gonna? He's gonna go for this. I feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. The flare. He's got the vision. Global Silence committed super early here. He force stabs himself in. He doesn't quite get it. In fact, no, that's going to be a feed from Francis now. Highcat gets the Aegis and the kill on top. And now they want to chase for a few more. While all this is going on, there is a bit of a split pushing game kicking off as well, as Gyro's looking to try and at least force down these racks. But now they are going to find another kill onto the Stan King. Now, with all those 2 kills, the Aegis in tow as well. This is going to be a high ground siege no matter what really happens here. Gyro can try and push in that lane, but Optic, they're happy now. They've got the Golem down and can start putting in a bit of pressure.
Yep, Zai rolling in.
The blink as well onto them. The Shard's going to be causing a bit of distress, but look at that. Already another kill, almost instantly. No buyback now for 747. He's going to be out of this fight. A double kill for Pycat. I think this might just be GG called very momentarily. Still Pycat ripping into his enemies. Triple kill for him. The buybacks are flooding out. This might just be an ultra kill coming out. Pycat's going to get back. And a boom, 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 boom. He's not quite going to get it. The Glimmer Cape actually cut him off. And now he's going to have to back off here still. He's going to be attribute morphing up. He's quite healthy. The towers are going to be falling down, and the heals are there as well from the Warlock. Using that Shadow Word to just keep them nice and healthy, but they're still looking to fight this now. Pycat, very low, still has that Aegis, remember, and the cheese on top of it. So he is healthy. The kill's rolling in for them. And we see the hook shot by Francis into the back. They can't end this man. He's just causing all sorts of destruction for him. The Shadow Word, the plus armor as well from the Solar Crest, and now he eats the cheese. He wants a few more kills. The Shard's going to be sent out. Glimmer Cape going to be keeping him alive for the time being. Now we see the cogs being dropped down as Pycat. He morphed into him. He stole that ability, and he's got it right now. Finds a godlike spree for him. Francis now is trapped in between his own cogs, slowed down to a T. And that will be 360 no-scope. Pycat wants to go for it. What's he doing? Who's he killing? What's the call here? He's going to try and put it onto the TA. They want this gold. They want to try and get a bit of this bounties. Pycat moves forward, but he's got this negative armor debuff. He's very weak. Now he's going to be dropping a few items, but Pycat gets the kill in front of him. GG is called, and Optic are going to be taking it 2 games in this series. Podcast, does that count? Does it?
I'm pretty sure it does. I think it was in the time limit. Yep, Buka confirms it was. Alright, well played Optic. 2-0 over VGJ.
With the 2 randoms at the start as well. Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's impressive, I think, for a team to just sort of, because I mean, Vici, they were tryharding it. You know, they spent 1,719 moonbucks that draft. You know, Mr. Midas is going to be laughing all the way to the bank. He's getting his money back with interest.
Right.
Yeah, right. And Optic, I mean, they're doing challenges. They're not spending money. They're looking pretty happy. But I think now is the time. We're going to be sending it to an advertisement. God knows what you guys are going to be seeing next. Hopefully it's going to be something wholesome like the Kennedy Space Center and not something like, I don't know, alien piss or whatever the hell they're calling the vapes these days. But God bless. We'll see you. I don't know if there's another series today. I believe there is, but yes, whatever. We'll send it to an advertisement. We'll the game's still continuing. Don't go anywhere. Get everyone on the sofa. It's a lovely, lovely day to be watching some Dota. That's going to be it. That's just going to be finding that kill quite easily. Oh my goodness. Francis Lee, he is to try and get some kills in the top lane, but realizes he's not getting that at all. Has to back off. He's going to use his shield crash to move up onto the high ground, so there is no chase to be had. Remember, no blink dagger just yet on the TA. So, in VG are finding openings, right? They bring down CCNC. That's a critical pick. You wanna try and bring down these high net worth carries that they've got on the side of Optic, but I mean, still, it's hard to try and find the openings right now when Optic still have such a massive lead in items.
Yeah, it's so hard when the supports protect the carries so well, right? They need to be able to find the Warlock in the team fight. Same thing with the Silencer. It's just, there's a whole bunch of things they need to look out for. And unless Optic really messes up their positioning, or VGJ happen to catch them in a really like awkward spot coming up a hill on a ward or something, it just becomes so hard to fight.
Zai's picked up the double javelins now. He's got a blink dagger on top of it. Pretty core items on the Pangolier. So we're seeing Optic again making movements, just trying to take some map control. Blair's going to be used mid just to try and push it in, but they do finally get some towers at least. Vici, the solo push, and blink dagger picked up as well.
Yeah.
Onto 747. Not the worst case. Not, you know, things are turning around slowly but surely. And they've shown that they do have the means to win team fights as well.
Yes, very true. And TA also has some items now, right? It's still not where she would like to be, but it's much better than before.
Things could be worse, eventually. They could be in the previous game and calling GG in about 2 minutes' time.
That's true.
Thankfully, that's not the case.
It might be 2 minutes too early to call that. You never know what could happen.
That's true. Dota's a finicky beast these days. You know. That's going to be it. That's just going to be finding that kill quite easily. Oh my goodness. Francis Lee, he is to try and get some kills in the top lane, but realizes he's not getting that at all. Has to back off. He's going to use his shield crash to move up onto the high ground, so there is no chase to be had. Remember, no blink dagger just yet on the TA. Yeah, so in VG are finding openings, right? They bring down CCNC. That's a critical pick. You wanna try and bring down these high net worth carries that they've got on the side of Optic, but I mean, still, it's hard to try and find the openings right now when Optic still have such a massive lead in items.
Yeah, it's so hard when the supports protect the carries so well, right? They need to be able to find the Warlock in the team fight. Same thing with the Silencer. It's just, there's a whole bunch of things they need to look out for. And unless Optic really messes up their positioning, or VGJ happen to catch them in a really awkward spot coming up a hill on a ward or something, it just becomes so hard to fight.
Zai's picked up the double javelins now. He's got a blink dagger on top of it. Pretty core items on the Pangolier. So we're seeing Optic again making movements, trying to take some map control. Flare is going to be used mid just to try and push it in, but they do finally get some towers at least. Vici, the solo push, and blink dagger picked up as well.
Yeah.
Onto 747. Not the worst case. Not, you know, things are turning around slowly but surely. And they've shown that they do have the means to win team fights as well.
Yes, very true. And TA also has some items now, right? It's still not where she would like to be, but it's much better than before.
Things could be worse, potentially. They could be in the previous game and calling GG in about 2 minutes' time.
That's true.
Thankfully, that's not the case.
It might be 2 minutes too early to call that. You never know what could happen.
That's true. Dota's a finicky beast these days. You never know. It's all sorts of crazy stuff happening. Sometimes I look at a game of Dota and I think, when did we turn into Dota Imber? You know?
Yeah.
These Storm Spirit zipping across the map. Luna, have you seen what she can do these days? She's like spamming down bolts of things all over the place. Crazy. Dota's weird. I feel like an old man that's scared of technology.
Yeah, just technology escapes you.
I don't want it to change, you know. But they've actually got vision here onto Stan King. And they are going to be able to bring him down. Ice shards, enough damage, PPD. That's a nice little solo kill. 30 seconds, no Winter Wyvern, which means they're definitely not fighting. But they end up trading it for the tier 2 bottom. Beach here trying to pressure this up. We see a lot of TP rotations coming out. Well, it's just the one. Zai is confident that he can stop any attempts onto the racks here, while Optics still hold the enemy's territory in their jungle.
Yep, still nicely done from VG. They maneuvered on the map very well. Won't they see him? Can they actually break the TP? Oh, it's a long TP.
So good. That's the longest TP I've seen this game so far. Zai ends up connecting it with the rolling boulder. Now they actually don't.
They've got sentries on the chick.
comes the music.
Boom, 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 boom. I'll shoot you right down. Boom, 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 boom. Ow, 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 ow. Boom, 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 boom. I'll shoot you right down. Boom, 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 boom. Ow, 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 ow.
Can go real bad, real fast. Or
You
really
were
well.
saying this the other day too. You were telling us, I think, out of the stream that it's just kind of interesting that there's odds in this tournament in the way that they are because it's so random to a certain extent. Maybe not random, but the drafts are way different than what you would see in captain's draft. So the conventional logic is kind of thrown out the window, and it's more about how teams play in Midas mode.
We are literally encouraging people to play Dota in an unconventional way.
Yes.
So therefore, the odds, you know, you could get lucky if you bet.
Yeah,
they are more in your favor, I would say, than a normal tournament. GG bet. Dot.
It says it at the top.
GG dot bet.
Let's put the sad music back on. Let's just do that.
Oh, God.
That's all we had.
Yeah, that's all we had.
No ETA on this game. All right.
So we'll be waiting a fair bit. It feels like we might get in the game sooner rather than later, but we just saw VGJ play, so they're going to take a quick break, and we're kind of waiting on Immortals. So it might take a while for them to get here, but in the meantime, let's take a look at the bounties that we've got going on. A lot of them completed.
What? Fat Finger uncompleted? That sounds like the easiest bounty ever. You lose a little bit of your BKB.
Not many people have built BKB today. I feel like a lot of people have been just going, and Resolution built it in the first game, but he didn't pop it immediately, which of course you have to do. That's like the one that I'm surprised. I mean, what should I buy as well as the other one that surprises me too?
I think overall today the bounties are a lot higher reward, so completing them is very, very important if you want to kind of catch up with the other teams.
Yeah.
It's how we balance the lack of the randoming. We thought that we would have these super high bounties that people can complete based off of skill, And it looks like they don't want to show their skill. They just want to hit the random button to make their money. So Nostradamus is the #1 I'm so surprised at. These guys could make so much money, but I guess they are just terrified to lose it.
It's very difficult, though. You could call somebody out and you could try to gank them over and over again, but it's still it's pretty hard challenge to complete, I think, pretty hard bounty.
And we saw the teams every game smoking, trying to get the other bounty. And it's kind of not that much risk, but the Nostradamus is a large commitment, right?
Yes.
So.
The one that surprised me was OG. Oh, thank you. All right, it rolled away from me. Reginald!
Pick it up now!
Where's the bell?
Thank you, Reginald.
I would like a hat as well, please, Reginald.
Reginald, hat us all.
This is actually...
Habadash us.
It's just crushing my skull.
Thank you.
Cool.
But, yeah, Witchcraft and Wizardry completed by Fly. He had 3 wands and a stick, I believe, or a combination of those. It was actually rather impressive, so... Good stuff from OG. They completed a lot of challenges, but they lost the series. So.
You know, they were probably going to lose against Liquid anyway. No offense to OG, of course. Whoa. I mean, Liquid's a great team, so might as well try to get as much money as possible. Would you mind also ringing the bell for... I'd like some... Go ahead. Totinos, please.
Oh, Reginald, get us Totinos.
Totinos immediately.
We have finally acquired the Totino's pizza rolls.
I'm not fucking kidding. Stop laughing and make me Totinos.
How long did it take to cook?
Very quick. I would tell you
2
more,
minutes,
but
maybe.
I did tweet at Pete Zarol on Twitter.com
I saw that tweet.
and asked him to sponsor, and he chose not to. Reginald, these are uncooked.
Oh, Reginald.
Get out of here. Stop.
Oh, no.
These are uncooked, you
don't.
fucking idiot.
Don't eat it.
Don't.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Please stop.
Okay, it's not bad.
Are they pre-cooked?
Oh, my God. Oh, it wasn't bad when it was frozen, but as soon as it started to unfreeze, it's horrible.
Oh, come on.
Oh, God. It's horrible.
Oh,
Totinos, don't watch that clip.
You should have sponsored Pizza Roll. I would have said they were delicious, you idiot. Anyway, get this out of here.
Oh, dear Lord.
Might smoke 2, dumbass.
So you can save your company still.
We'll delete that VOD.
The whole thing.
Anyway, NA though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
What a region.
What a region.
This is an interesting series. So you got VGJ, who are typically a Chinese team, but this is VGJ Storm, their American division. You have
They're different players.
and then you have the South Koreans. It's like that's what America is all about. It's about taking other people and bringing them in to our culture.
A melting pot, if you will.
A melting pot of nations and letting these guys be an NA team. It is very, very reminiscent of the real world. You're not going to see a bunch of teams go to France and become a France team.
Yeah, but they're all American.
They're all American players.
They're all American.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about the orgs.
So you're...
But I mean...
That's just like Chinese investment. That's nothing to do with the players, really.
I mean, but now those Chinese teams are American teams.
Yes, that's how it works.
All right, sure. You mean the organizations?
Yes.
Okay. But it's a different...
Can I get some Doritos?
Just give him anything.
Just cook him his things before he gets mad.
Immortals now
No.
an American organization as well.
Yes.
A Korean team, usually.
Now, this is a better example of what Slacks is
Yes,
trying to
this is
say.
exactly it. This is what Slacks is talking about, but probably 10 times better. He's freaking out. He wants the Doritos. Now he's saying, no, he doesn't know what he wants.
Well, Reginald is...
We got the pick
he's
prices
winding
here.
Up his arm here.
Has anything changed? I mean, AM's still pretty strong.
Can we sort by price, please, Reginald?
Hey.
Hey, let's talk
Night Stalker
about...
is still so expensive despite not being picked.
Not picked once, but the price has gone down,
A little bit. He's still top of the strength, though. What about Oracle? Why does no one pick Oracle? You can use it in so many cool
that's a good
combos.
question. I feel like it shouldn't be lower than Techie. First of all, Techie should not be higher than anybody, to be honest.
He got picked a few times.
He was random, and then he was picked. No, he wasn't even random. He was picked in the
He was picked and
bounty.
random. No,
yes.
Techies. He's got more picks than a lot of people in this tournament right now.
I mean, I'm kind of confused about that. Didn't he lose both games that he played?
Yeah, but
How do
he
you
was
feel
still
about your
picked.
boy right now, Techies? Do you think he's decent?
He's fucking super OP, but don't tell anybody.
I mean, the thing is, it's tough to play. I think Blastoff is really strong in the early game. I like that ability a lot. Late game, obviously, you have all the mines. We can get them up in time. And
I think if you do the Blink Dagger build, you don't really scale. Like we saw EG do it.
I think Fear did it,
Yeah, it was kind of cool, but it didn't like scale at all, and it just kind of it didn't really do what I needed to do. How do you build Techies if you wanted to teach Fear? Say, what would you say to him?
I'd say probably put more than 2 mines down. in the first 35 minutes of the game. Typically is a pretty good strat there.
Hopefully
He taught me that new thing about Blast Off, though, where it doesn't actually damage you, so you can blink dagger out of it.
Yep.
That's pretty incredible. That for the first time makes me understand the plus 400 Blast Off damage, because you can just, that's such, what is that, like a 10-second silence or something?
Yeah, it's a long duration for sure.
We haven't seen in these kind of goofy-ass modes, I think Captain's Draft qualifiers and in Midas mode, when Techies is picked, it's an absolute stomp, and he hasn't done well at all.
Yeah.
And I believe that is a coordinated effort by all of us to get Techies back in Captain's mode, even though he's broke as fuck.
You know, today might be the day we see him, though, right? Because we have these all-melee draft challenges.
Those are refreshed now.
Exactly.
I forgot.
So you can bait one team into drafting an all-melee lineup. You draft 4 melee heroes, and your last pick Techies. Surprise!
You guys were talking about it earlier, too, and I was like, I don't think that's going to happen, though.
How did he counter it? What, Quelling Blades?
Yeah, something like that. That's true. It's pretty good, I'm sure, but maybe Immortals will pick it. They pick some weird heroes a lot of the time, especially for QO.
They're a unique team.
Very unique. 100% unique.
Quite unique.
How unique would you say?
110% unique.
Wow.
I went up 10%.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
that's quite
great.
Unique. Of a unique...
Uniqueness?
Yeah.
There you go. I got you back. Reginald, how long do we have until we get into the lobby?
We almost done here.
Bell.
Antlion.
So we're going to take it over to an Antlion commercial real quick, guys, so make sure you stick around.
Well, yes, of course. If he is available, I would love to talk to Mr. Newell. Needs to borrow more money again, does he? Yes, fine. I can speak with him now. Include Ice Frog, then that devil of a man Johnson. I want to hear about his recent wild hunts. Yes, of course, I can hold. Reginald! Get me the good microphone! The good microphone, Reginald! Bring me the mod mic!
Hi, this is Gabe Newell.
Hello,
This isn't working. Good luck figuring it out.
Hello, Mr. Newell. I trust my chat wheel idea went over well at the office.
Yes.
Is Ice Frog available?
Okay. Let's use this as an opportunity.
Reginald, get my tea. Oh, hey, yeah, this is Ice Frog. How we doing today, Gabe?
I work at Valve. What's not to like?
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, so we wanted to talk to you about some changes to the economy, something we've been working on.
Hopefully, it will have been worth the wait.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Frog. These gold changes are quite fascinating.
This has been an experiment.
Yes, indeed. Please, continue. Hey, you know, we should talk about the Hand of Midas stuff, Gabe.
No.
Okay, don't be such a stickler. Listen, we're gonna take the Hand of Midas, we're gonna reduce just a little bit. You dare to mention Midas nerfs to me? No. Or have you remember who funded your little mod back when you were playing in the dirt, Frog? I know, but I've had enough of this nonsense. I'll be seeing you personally, Mr. Midas, very soon. Please.
Thanks for listening.
Reginald! Get my most expensive set of soundproof headphones. I'm taking the job! And bring the good microphone. I want those fools to hear me lecturing them in crystal clear clarity.
I'm sorry, sir, but which microphone was that?
The only microphone fit for my finest headset! The only microphone that I travel with! The good microphone, you bumbling imbecile! Get me the mod mic! Hello, can you hear me? Of course you can. We have a lot of work to do. And what microphone am I using? I'm sure you can't afford it. It's the best on the market. It's called an Antlion mod mic. What do you mean it's only $50? Reginald!
Hello. Welcome back to Midas mode. I'm glad you're all here with us. I appreciate you joining us. You're all amazing. How's it going, everybody?
How many people have seen that right before they died?
Oh no, it's Mott's mustache. Oh no, I'm not living anymore.
Oh,
Hello. Oh, God.
Might be one of the most terrifying things I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I
beautiful at the same
sincerely
time.
apologize to everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Kennedy Space Center told me monsters weren't real. They're real. They're among us. Okay, I'm sorry. Whew, I'm crying. All right. I have to tell you people out there, Mott Dota is my muse. Every time I make a video, I imagine that Mott is the star of the video. I write it around him, and he's just one of the greatest thespians I have ever met in my life.
You're talking
boy.
like he's dead.
I can't take this. This is too much.
But, God, what an actor. If I could have Mott be in every video, I fucking would. Pardon my language.
You hear that, Valve? Get me involved.
Volvo,
Please.
remember me, Volvo. Please. Anyway, whew. So, Immortals.
Immortals, huh?
Immortals.
Oh, yeah. So, okay.
Bit of a shaky.
Oh, is that a found footage?
Press it on. Come on.
Is that the video that the police found from the victim's cell phone?
It's like some Monster Hunter.
It really was.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh, hey. You hyped this up. It's not ready.
What?
False alarm.
Oh,
Mahalo.
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 The schedule. Hell yeah.
Finally, we got a good
Hype.
schedule. We've had a kind of I don't know, schedule that's been all over the place. I would say not in terms of the
Flexible.
teams, but like
I'll be real with you. I'm the one who had to deal with the scheduling. We
Okay.
were on version 13. It was version 1 for before the first week of the tournament, and now it's version 13. But yeah, this is what we ended up with. So there you go, everybody. Very exciting stuff.
oh man. So this is our last best of 3 day. The rest of the days, except for the playoffs, we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But for tomorrow, we have OG versus Mid or Feed. That'll be on Wednesday at 17 CET. And then the day after, it will be EG versus Immortals, which should be a pretty big game, depending on how Immortals does here in this particular best of 3. So obviously, still a couple of games left.
Yes.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing. Everyone in the house is cracking
just
up.
enjoying
They're enjoying themselves. They really are.
Contagious shit.
Taste the mustache.
Purge. We have Purge on the camera. He's
Mobile
like zooming
camera
in.
with Purge, guys.
Could you not zoom in on my crotch, Purge, please? Just control yourself.
I like the way we can see a little bit of Mott's leg as well. Can we go back,
Yeah,
can we go back to that shot?
Let me,
I
there we
liked
go.
it.
All
You're
right.
just teasing
we
us.
all
No hair being shown here.
I thought it was
It's a
kind of
PG
nice.
stream.
Holy shit, my leg is so pale. And I got this thing where I don't wear shorts. But look at that. That's like looking at the sun.
Oh.
Woo!
Irish, man.
That's
You
quite
can't
the
beat
shot.
me.
I think I actually out-Irish the Irish.
no way.
Oh, hell no. That's
We might
you're
be
a
the 3
ghost.
pastiest people I've ever seen in my life, actually.
Someone get some makeup in here.
Yeah, we really need some.
Ladies, L'Oreal, if you want to sponsor Midas on too.
Listen,
Yeah, look at
Suave,
Woo.
whatever you want. We're flexible. We're flexible. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? Please start the draft, somebody. Please.
Pedal the headphones again. Somebody do something.
We can talk about mass drop. Oh, great. Immortals, they're not even anywhere near here. They're doing something.
They're
I
probably
don't
on
know.
a flight or something.
Yeah.
They're going. Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Let's hold on.
Mott, why don't you start us off on a philosophical conversation? I mean, we're all gentlemen in this lounge. This is a place
excellent.
where men should
How serious do you want me to be here?
As serious as possible.
as serious as Mott
So we're going to
gets.
go really existentialist here. Existentialist, rather.
All right.
What was I? So, wait.
Fuck.
I saw something about they found a new solar system at the edge of our galaxy recently. And also they found a planet that's in a different solar system, or rather a different star, that is actually, it looks like it's very possible of holding on to life. Like there's water, there's stuff like that at this other planet. So there's like these new planets coming out of nowhere. And it makes it kind of exciting, I guess.
How would we get there? Who could, like, teach us how to get there?
I think Slacks has an idea.
Rockets.
No, I thought the news story was that there was a object, like an asteroid.
I saw that too. That's a completely different story as well.
We're getting a lot of new news about this second galaxy coming in. I'm starting to get a little worried.
About what? Aliens?
I mean, I'm not going to say it, but Suddenly we find the galaxy, then there's a rock. I mean, it looks like shit that would be on the TV in the background of a sci-fi movie right before everybody dies. Oh, shut up, bitch!
What Reddit
Thanks, Trent.
was it on? Was it on Or News?
God damn you, Reginald.
I think I saw it on Our Science, I believe, was where it might have been a different thread than they were reading.
True, then.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
They wouldn't
Reddit
lie.
knows everything. It's very important, okay?
Please upvote. I mean, who's even the competition? Who are we sucking up to?
I don't know. I'm just saying random
Get
things.
wrecked facepunch.com forums? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I hope not.
I think you just made that up. All right,
Sniffing
that's
the rock,
we
does it
need
smell like a rocket?
we need to
It
get out.
does. It's got some real
Please.
jet fuel coming out. Woo! Woo!
Slacks is smelling small figurines at this point.
You know, this could probably go up a kid's nose.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't say that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it looks pretty safe.
Next
Cut.
game starting soon.
So, Immortal.
I would have had no idea if not for that text at the bottom of the screen.
Thank you. Yes, if Twitch only knew that we were actually delaying the game for this wonderful
Oh, they're all in the
panel
lobby,
up. They've been waiting.
Yeah, they've
for-
been waiting for a year. They're just watching.
Just 10 more
this.
minutes, please.
All right. So anyway, where did you want to go with this galaxy?
I don't know. I threw something out and I forgot about it completely. So there we go.
Thank you so much, Shane. Tell us a little bit about the homeland.
Ireland?
Yeah.
There we go.
A lot of leprechauns running around. We all go to space all the time. It's a far better system than NASA.
Oh.
It's gold.
How do you feel about Lucky Charms?
Do you feel like that's racist?
It is.
Yeah, I think it is too.
It definitely is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I didn't even know it was a thing until I came to America, and I was pretty disappointed, actually.
Come on, General Mills. What are you doing?
Get it together.
Now, I took Toby Wan to an Outback Steakhouse a few weeks ago.
Boy,
He
there.
didn't seem to mind it. He liked it. He thought that it was a genuine representation of his people.
I can't believe
Okay.
that for a second.
That's fine, but all Irish stuff is Irish pubs. Like, that's all it is. It's like, oh, we
And
just drink all the
Guinness,
time.
yeah.
That might be accurate, but I still think it's unfair to do it.
It's quite unfair,
Yeah.
people. Please.
Yes. At least, I don't know, we should get a percentage or something. There should be racism.
Why? So you can buy more booze?
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
Just kidding. Just,
Don't worry, no Irish people play Dota. There's about 50 of them.
oh.
They can't get enough votes to get to the front page.
Have people met you out and about and have they recognized you?
It
in
happened
Ireland?
once, and I got a free milkshake. But
Hey.
That's hype.
I don't drink milkshakes, so you know it was okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Well, that was
you got a
sad
milkshake out of
story.
it. I mean, there you go.
That was a real heartbreaker right there.
Well, the cool thing was every time I went back to the place, he was like, "Oh, I liked you on this."
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
of him.
it was-
That's a good
It-
lad.
It's really cool.
That's nice.
It is really cool.
I like going somewhere with Slacks and having him get recognized, and then we'll be behind Slacks, and the guy won't
That
know
actually
who.
happened.
You were with
was
me.
both
We
of
were at the
us.
game store in Boulder, and we walk in, and the guy recognizes Slacks, and he's like, "I can't believe it's you!" Oh, and then Slacks is like, "Oh yeah, hello." He does this thing, and he's just having a good time, and then he's like, "Do you guys want to take a picture? I mean, I want to take a picture with Slacks, but we can take one with you too."
Yeah,
Me
you
and
guys,
Shane.
you random friends of Jake.
Oh.
You know that's true. You remember that story.
I
It was
do.
at the game store, whatever it was called, down in Boulder.
It's true. It's true. But I'll take any opportunity I can to get a picture with you, Mott.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
muse.
What
well, we
about
can
me?
do that later.
No one cares. Just kidding. So, let's talk about not Midas mode, huh? Let's
Sure.
talk about Dota in general.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, I
The
like
meta
this.
and all that stuff. I feel like Pangolier and Dark Willow are so cool in this mode. I feel like they're already in the game. But what do you think they're going to change before it's actually put in?
You mean the two new heroes?
Yeah.
I think they might nerf Rolling Thunder, maybe give it a longer cooldown potentially. You saw in that last game, Zai had it during a fight. There was like another fight that broke out in the, like a couple moments later, and then he had it again, and he's able to roll constantly back and forth. Of course, Zai is just amazing on that hero, to be fair. So that's also, I mean, if you're really good at the hero, then I think
Yeah.
it's probably fine.
I think it makes
but-
certain terrain areas really OP for,
Yes.
for the hero, right? If you're fighting in the Roche pit, if you're
Yes.
fighting in certain choke
Dude.
points,
Yes.
it's really, really strong.
I just had an idea. Reginald, don't you remember what the people wanted? Maybe now is the time.
Oh, yeah, AMA.
Ah, ring the bell.
Oh.
Now would be the perfect time, Reginald.
Reginald needs to see the people.
Reginald, please, go get your phone.
All
All
right.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have seen on our Dota 2, the people have wanted to ask Reginald some questions. And we thought we would allow him to speak. Of course, we're not going to pay him more. and he would
Anything.
just anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how can you pay more of 0? So we thought we would invite him on to answer your questions, and maybe now is just the perfect time to do it. I mean, we got a big break. What do you think, gentlemen?
Sure.
Yeah, it sounds
All right,
perfect.
Reginald, please come on.
All right.
We could give you the center. Well, I'll switch out. Please take my headset, Reginald. No, okay.
I'm completely prepared.
Well, you need to talk in the headset, Reginald. You
All right,
goddamn
come now,
poor
Reginald.
bastard. Put it on there, friend. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Reginald here to read off some of your. Why?
Okay.
Reginald.
Reginald, please. A few questions.
Hello.
Read off your AMA, please.
Hold on, I'm like Michael Jackson right now. I don't even have it pulled up. Here we go, guys. Let me
Oh,
look at these
Reginald.
questions.
Oh, Reginald, you silly boy.
Remember, if you don't do this well, you're not eating tonight.
Oh.
Do you want to go back to where you came, sifting through the garbage in the gutters of
Yes.
the meat? Okay.
We'll start there. I think that's a perfect place to start.
Okay.
The story of Reginald begins when I was a young lad.
I'm out. Okay, go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was young. I was going through some rough times in life. Got in some trouble with the police. And there I was, on the run, late at night in a downtown city of your choosing.
Sure.
And I was so grief-stricken, I fell to the ground. A pair of pajama pants walked up in front of me. I looked up. It was Ziori. He offered me a job. He said, "Sir, I have a space between my staircase. Would you like to live there and be the butler for Moonduck?" I said, "Sure." And that was the beginning of a long and glorious relationship. Next question.
Thank
Pair
you
of
so much,
pajama
Reginald.
pants, of course.
That's very good.
That's
That's
Sayori.
me.
That's
At least he
Sayori.
wasn't wearing the tight pants.
Yeah.
Good questions. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a typical for Ask Me Anything there. Let anyone write anything. Yeah, okay, well, we'll give him some filler time.
Yeah.
But take your time.
Take it away. Talk
Take
away,
it
boys.
away,
Let's find
Red.
something good here.
We'll get
Now,
Reginald
have
back
you ever
in.
been in like a service industry role, Mott?
Me?
Yeah.
I worked at McDonald's.
You worked at McDonald's.
Yes. My freshman year of college, coming home for the summer, and I got a job because my neighbor actually owns a McDonald's back in New York. He owns a lot of McDonald's in the upstate area. So I happened to ask him for a job, thinking it would be easy. Of course, my brother had a job with him as well, my older brother. So I got a job being a cashier at McDonald's, which was actually quite enjoyable. It was better than I thought it was
Wow.
going to be.
Worst experience?
Worst experience was I was like this 18-year-old kid, and I didn't know what I was doing. It was like one of my first days there, and I messed up some guy's order, and he just started berating me. He just started yelling at me. "What the do you think you're doing? You don't even know your job at this point. Come on, man." And then he just kept yelling at me for a lengthy amount of time. But my manager did step up and help me out there, and it wasn't even that bad. It turned out okay. That guy was an asshole, but that's all right.
What a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
I used to be a manager at the Outback Steakhouse.
Oh.
If anyone had a complaint, they would come to me, and we had so many good complaints. One time, a woman came up to me and said, "Hello, I'd like my dinner to be free." And I said, "What happened, ma'am? How can I help?" And she said, "I'm a vegetarian, and this place reeks of meat."
What did you say to her?
I said, "Well, turn on the air conditioning." Sorry. And I did not give her a free meal because that was fucking psychotic. Another guy. This is a sad tale. Very. What? What?
We're working on it. Don't
Oh,
worry.
okay. For one day, a very large man came in. A very large man came in, and he sat at the Outback booth.
Yeah.
And before that, a new employee was wiping down the booth and cleaning it with the wet rag. She left the wet rag. He sat down, and the man was too large to know that the wet rag was under him because he couldn't feel it. Then they took the rag out from behind him, and he was embarrassed because he was with his family. And he said, much like we are on this panel, he looked up at the server and said, "There's been a wet rag on my tush this entire time." And she laughed. And then she went in the back room and told everyone, and everyone laughed. And the man could hear them laughing. And he went up to me and he said, "Everyone in the restaurant is laughing at me because there was a rag stuck in my tush." To which I nearly laughed. We gave him over $200 in coupons. And we all felt really bad about it. And there was nothing we could do.
Oh, that's rough. At least
was-
you got some coupons out of it.
I mean, it was like if you were thinking of like a cartoon character from the 1920s. He had like this striped shirt with the suspenders, and he talked like, "A wet rag is on my tush." We couldn't handle it. I felt terrible. You're laughing right now. I'm telling you, it was a real rough situation.
That poor guy, man.
I feel bad.
Yeah. Did he ever come back?
I felt bad for the wrecked.
Oh, come on.
Sorry. No, he didn't come back.
Okay.
Anyway,
Would
Reginald.
you- I didn't know if we were continuing. I can continue. I found
We're buying you time.
Maybe 2 good questions here.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Where did you get the old-timey... oh, wait. Dan Q, Maymays, asked this question.
Unnecessary. Just shout out damn Q Maymays, but continue.
Where's the fancy old-timey phone come from? And do you come from a long line of Reginalds? I'm actually the first Reginald. And I worked for your mother for a little bit, and she gave me the phone as payment for my services.
Oh, get wrecked, Dan Q. Maymays.
Yeah, Dan Q
That's as good
Maymays.
as I got. Sorry, Dan
That's
Q.
what you
Maymays.
get for participating.
Thank you. You got another question.
Fuck you for
Dan
asking
Q
your question.
Maymays, are we ripping him again?
Let's just pull out your questions, Dan Q. Where else you got, bud?
No.
Oh no, Dan
Dan
Q.
Q, you need to leave.
He's one of our only fans. Don't do this. We can't afford to lose
He
him.
could be a subscriber.
Please.
Apparently, a side note, there's a professional someone who is a Reginald, and they have been much confusion as to whether I am TSM Reginald, who I have no idea who that is.
Oh. That's another game
so
player.
many of those questions have been a little
Don't
iffy.
even worry about that, my
A little
friend.
iffy.
Do we have any other
How much are you paying Reginald? I don't know what money is.
We're not
I
paying him,
don't-
we're
I don't
giving
get
him
those
food.
Things.
Don't tell him that money exists.
He needs to.
As
he
a
needs to not know
child,
that.
we've only told him that small pats are the only payment people get.
Am I a glove aficionado? I might be
Aficionado.
aficionado. Excuse me. I might become one now. These gloves are actually quite comfortable.
Gloves are very creepy.
You got the Michael
They
Jackson
are
going
creepy.
on.
Wait till you wear them. And I am just wearing one right now. Pretty flashy.
You meet a guy that's wearing a glove, you know, like, something's real off, right? That guy's like, I cannot afford my hands to touch this world.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
That's a little weird.
I don't know. I like the Reginald one glove style though. I like the Michael Jackson.
That's pretty good.
He's a fashion.
The phone doesn't work great
trendsetter.
with a gloved hand.
Yeah, true.
It's true.
Good point.
Do they let me pet the dog? I am the dog. No, yeah.
Which dog are we talking about, Mr. Rue?
Mr. Rue is not here.
He has not been here.
Zayori yelled at me last time he was
Yeah,
here.
that makes sense. Let's just say when you have a dog in a production area, it doesn't usually go well.
There's a lot of things for him to get on top of.
Yeah.
Mr. Rue doesn't care a lot when he's moving around.
Including Mr. Midas,
That's right.
which causes some big problems.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't like that.
Oh, he liked it.
Let's see, Mott. So any other jobs that you've had besides...
I think most people know, if they've been following me, that I used to be a swim coach.
That's right.
Also lifeguard, but that doesn't matter. That's not important.
Oh.
Swim coach is the most. It's pretty much the only other thing I've done besides what I'm doing now, and it's great because I get to yell at kids and just berate people. It's
Nice.
Fantastic.
Did you ever lose one of the children?
No.
Why did you think?
No. No reason.
There was a very uncomfortable pause there for a couple of seconds. Mott.
No, I think I worked with a lot of different age groups. I had a really good time, and I actually kind of miss it sometimes. It's like I don't miss going to work, but I miss the swim meets, and I don't know, kids getting excited about swimming because nobody really likes swimming anymore. I feel like it's unfortunate.
I mean, what's there to like?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. You're right. I actually.
Well, that was all right.
You gave that one up easy.
Let me just say, swimming is one of the worst sports when you're actually swimming or when you're doing it. Like, think about it. You're in the water. You're looking down constantly. You can't talk to your friends. You have to breathe once every couple of strokes. You have to do underwater training. It's really, I mean, if you really enjoy swimming, you'll probably like it a little bit for the beginning, but then you start doing these really long swimming sets. You swim like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 yards a day, doing 3 hours plus weightlifting, especially if you're super serious about it. It's kind of rough.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's a lot of work. I didn't actually.
that's going to be it. Precious going to be finding that kill quite easily. Oh my goodness. Francis Lee, he is to try and get some kills in the top lane, but realizes he's not getting that at all. Has to back off. He's going to use his shield crash to move up onto the high ground, so there is no chase to be had. Remember, no blink dagger just yet on the TA. So, in VG are finding openings, right? They bring down CCNC. That's a critical pick. You wanna try and bring down these high net worth carries that they've got on the side of Optic, but I mean, still, it's hard to try and find the openings right now when Optic still have such a massive lead in items.
Yeah, it's so hard when the supports protect the carries so well, right? They need to be able to find the Warlock in the team fight, same thing with the Silencer. It's just, there's a whole bunch of things they need to look out for, and unless Optic really messes up their positioning, or VGJ happen to catch them in a really awkward spot coming up a hill on a ward or something, it just becomes so hard to fight.
Zai's picked up the double javelins now. He's got a blink dagger on top of it. Pretty core items on the Pangolier. So we're seeing Optic again making movements, trying to take some map control. Blair is going to be used mid just to try and push it in, but they do finally get some towers at least. Vici, the solo push, and blink dagger picked up as well.
Yeah.
Onto 747. Not the worst case. Not, you know, things are turning around slowly but surely. And they've shown that they do have the means to win team fights as well.
Yes, very true. And TA also has some items now, right? It's still not where she would like to be, but it's much better than before.
Things could be worse, potentially. They could be in the previous game and calling GG in about 2 minutes time.
That's true.
Thankfully, that's not the case.
It might be 2 minutes too early to call that. You never know what could happen.
That's true. Dota's a finicky beast these days. You never know. It's all sorts of crazy stuff happening. Sometimes I look at a game of Dota and I think, when did we turn into Dota Imber? You know?
Yeah.
These Storm Spirit zipping across the map. Luna, have you seen what she can do these days? She's like spamming down bolts of things all over the place. Crazy. Dota's weird. I feel like an old man that's scared of technology.
Yeah, just technology escapes you.
I don't want it to change, you know. But they've actually got vision here onto Stan King, and they are going to be able to bring him down. Ice shards, enough damage. PPD, that's a nice little solo kill. 30 seconds, no Winter Wyvern, which means they're definitely not fighting. But they end up trading it for the tier 2 bottom. Beach here trying to pressure this up. We see a lot of TP rotations coming out. Well, it's just the one. Zai is confident that he can stop any attempts onto the racks here, while Optics still hold the enemy's territory in their jungle.
Yep, still nicely done from VG. They maneuvered on the map very well. Oh, they see him. Can they actually break the TP? Oh, it's a long TP.
So good. That's the longest TP I've seen this game so far. Zai ends up connecting it with the rolling boulder. Now they actually don't.
They've got sentries on the chicken.
Got it out, but there you go. The sentry coming out. Pycat can just burst him down with the adaptive strike in the waveform, and that taunt is just utterly ridiculous.
I love it.
You a fan of it?
I am.
It's so over the top.
The more ridiculous, the better. So what happened was 747 tried to TP to the bottom shrine, and it was like a 5 or 6 second TP. It took forever to go off. It's very, very unlucky.
Yeah. I mean, if he TP'd back home, it might not be in the case, but I cottoned onto it, rolling boulder forward, doubling dagger, and that kill fooled them. So now, once again, Optica, they are finding the, you know, the odd strange pickup every now and then, the old pick off. It feels like Vici still aren't particularly comfortable enough to be fair to them. You know, they're cutting the waves out. You can see Snake King in the mid lane just going to be trying to prevent as much push as he possibly can. But you know, Optic have now grouped up as a 5. They're looking to try and at least pressure this tier 3, maybe force a few of them around, take a team fight or two. But Vici are playing this reasonably well, not trying to get picked off again like they have been in the past.
Yep, they're still farming, and they're making good plays, cutting creep waves, playing the map pretty decently, but at some point they're going to have to answer to Optic just walking up the hill, especially around the next Aegis timer, right? They'll be forced to fight.
Right. It's troubling for them. I mean, as well on the side of Optic, they've got so much catch potential with the Morphling, the PBD as well. It can snowball as many people in as he really wants. The shards catching people out. Zai, not to mention, the amount of lockdown that Pangolier has is utterly ridiculous in a lot of ways. So it's a tough game for Vici to try and position themselves, but still you can see it again. Snake King just farming up, pushing in these lanes, cutting the waves out, and just trying to farm up the next big items.
Yep, speaking of items, what do we have coming up? Pycat just picked up his Hurricane Pike, working on Scotty. Oh, there's the
whoa. Okay, there might be a kill kicking off here. Snake King, and indeed he's dead. He's gone. Global Silence was committed for that one. They bring him down. That's 55 seconds. Does have a buyback. Not the worst case in the world, but that's at least going to force Optic, I think, maybe to try and go for a push here. Force that buyback off. And then see what I can get out of it.
Yeah, it's still very hard to push into these heroes. Winter Wyvern, great outspin. If you clump up on the hill too much, you can get hit by the Winter's Curse. Even TA can kind of stand her ground and always just blink out because Optic, they don't really have an instant stun, right? The Snowball has to travel. Zai's up.
But Zai's just cancelled the TP up. Oh my goodness. Again, he spotted it. Stops it off. Zai goes for the shield crash. So much damage already put into him. And already Flare's he's gonna get stunned up as well from the homing missile. Chase is not on, but he cancels the TP, and now Optic, they realize he's in that area. You can already see the rotation starting to happen as PBD and Kitrak are going to start to make movements, but Zai might just get this solo kill by himself. He's trying to dodge and juke it, but you can't dodge the Pangolier, my man. He just zips into the fray, does that ugly taunt, and gets away with it.
Yeah, if you cannot escape when this hero's chasing. And alright, that's 50 seconds, no gyro.
They're actually on the tail of 747 as well. Nothing to cancel his TP, in fact, because it just blinked into the tree line. But yeah, that's a lot of time without the gyro. They can't really take an objective off the back of it. I think you're right in saying that Roshan's probably the next big objective here. Unless Zai just gets another kill in the top lane as well. He's going for the rolling boulder around the corner. Nice force staff to dodge it out from Snaking, but the shield crash is going to spot him as well. Zai hot on his tail, and they are going to get another one as well on top of it. 60 seconds now, but now the rotation's coming in by VGJ. So is Zai as comfortable, as confident as he might think? I don't think so now, as we see them moving in, and that melt damage on top of the Desolator. Zai just melts. He was super confident. He was a little bit cocky, dare I say, just waiting and farming up that lane.
Yeah, but a lot of gold going Tia's way. She's going for the Hurricane Pike next, so she'll have some component of that. But yeah, Roshan is definitely on the table next, and VGJ know what's up because they have a trap in the pit. Well, this is quite the ambitious kill.
They're certainly going for this one in the top lane. The meld is going to stop him. PBD, I don't think he recognizes. Was it out of vision? Running around. Not quite certain. But now the sense is placed. They knew exactly what was up, and they're going to get it easily. Pycat rotates around. The whole squad, in fact, turned up. And another kill for them. And it feels like Optic are just getting these pickoffs all the bloody time. Like, Vici, of course, what do you do in SNR? You can't exactly 5-man. You're going to fall even further behind in golden items against this draft, which you don't really want. But the trouble is, now that TA's down, Roshan's up. If you start bringing this down fast enough, Vici can't even contest it.
Yep, they've got the Solar Crest too, Morphling, tons of damage. No way they can contest this rush. They might try for steal though. Maybe Sankey will try to blink stun, or Clockwork will throw out the hook shot.
Hook? Oh, we've seen it. They've got a trap. They know exactly how far this should be falling. I mean, they're in the area. Are they gonna? He's gonna go for this. I feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. The flare. He's got the vision. Global Silence committed super early here. He force stabs himself in. He doesn't quite get it. In fact, no, that's going to be a feed from Francis now. Pycat gets the Aegis and the kill on top. And now they want to chase for a few more. While all this is going on, there is a bit of a split pushing game kicking off as well, as Gyro's looking to try and at least force down these racks. But now they are going to find another kill onto the Stan King. Now, with all those 2 kills, the Aegis in tow as well. This is going to be a high ground siege no matter what really happens here. Gyro can try and push in that lane, but Optic, they're happy now. They've got the Golem down and can start putting in a bit of pressure.
Yep, Zai rolling in.
The blink as well onto them. The Shard's going to be causing a bit of distress, but look at that. Already another kill, almost instantly. No buyback now for 747. He's going to be out of this fight. A double kill for Pycat. I think this might just be GG called very momentarily. So Pycat ripping into his enemies. Triple kill for him. The buybacks are flooding out. This might just be an ultra kill coming out. Pycat skidding back. And a boom, 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 boom. He's not quite going to get it. The Glimmer Cape actually cut him off. And now he's going to have to back off here still. He's going to be attribute morphing up. He's quite healthy. The towers are going to be falling down, and the heals are there as well from the Warlock. Using that Shadow Word to just keep them nice and healthy, but they're still looking to fight this now. Pycat, very low, still has that Aegis, remember, and the cheese on top of it. So he is healthy. The kill's rolling in for them. And we see the hook shot by Francis into the back. They can't end this man. He's just causing all sorts of destruction for them. The Shadow Word, the plus armor as well from the Solar Crest, and now he eats the cheese. He wants a few more kills. The Shard's going to be sent out. Glimmer Cape going to be keeping him alive for the time being. Now we see the cogs being dropped down as Pycat. He morphed into him. He stole that ability, and he's got it right now. Finds an hour, a godlike spree for him. Francis now is trapped in between his own cogs, slowed down to a T. And that will be 360 no-scope. Pykka wants to go for it. What's he doing? Who's he killing? What's the call here? He's going to try and put it onto the TA. They want this gold. They want to try and get a bit of this bounties. Pykka moves forward, but he's got this negative armor debuff. He's very weak. Now he's going to be dropping a few items, but Pykka gets the kill in front of him. GG is called. An optic.
Oh my God!
No. What are you doing?
Oh my God! The meta is established.
That's it. The game's over.
Woo!
Immortals have won.
They've won the game. Oh, it's the classic.
We don't know what we're doing, but we'll pick bounty hunter.
We got bounty hunter, guys. We got it.
Oh my God! What do you call it? I forget what you call it. The triple. The quad. Oh, it's all radiant, guys.
Is it all radiant?
They randomed
all
What an
radiant.
excellent draft.
And then they
Immortals.
picked one more.
Honestly, one of the finest we've seen on Midas mode. Oh.
So if they random, does it count for the bounty? Because I thought it said only picked, not
Well,
random.
technically, you still pick the hero. Right?
That's true.
Technically,
You
the
picked him
hero
through
must be
randoming.
selected
Yeah.
to enter the game.
So we'll have to figure out what Mr. Midas's judgment is going to be at the end of this.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty confused, but he'll take some time to think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
I actually can't believe they did it the exact same way Liquid did. It's hilarious.
I mean, that's
pretty
the meta.
funny.
That's what wins you the game.
So
It's the 4 random
the
bounty.
reason this worked for Team Liquid was because their opponent overextended in their base. And
Yes.
basically, once they overextend, you use the track to catch people really easily, and you get back in. All your 4 cores, they gain a lot of gold really quickly. So VG Gaming have to make mistakes for this to work. Otherwise, it's a disaster.
It's important to note that Immortals picked a bounty hunter earlier in the tournament and get absolutely scraped with it. Dubu played it, they didn't particularly play well.
Keep it down, Mo.
Keep it down.
Okay.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
like
All right. Okay.
no facts.
We're trying to hype
No
the,
facts.
the
Got it.
audience
All
up
right.
here. all
I
right?
see.
Now, with enough farm, it is possible for Sven and
Legion.
to circumvent the Winter Wyvern. Actually, it's not. They could have unlimited farm.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if they blink and initiate on him, but
Well,
he
they could
should.
go E-Blade Dagon.
They could.
Oh, the magic strat from the Legion and Sven.
It's genius. So when
Genius.
Genius.
So you have to use it before duel, obviously.
Yes,
Yes,
of
yes.
course. Very important to do that.
Now, if you get Scepter on Legion, can't people not cast spells?
No, they can still cast the spells on the person you're dueling, but just not on the Legion himself, because he's BKB.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the advantage is the duel lasts longer than the Cold Embrace.
So you get that last 2 seconds.
So if you have enough damage on the Legion, you might be able to kill the Winter Wyvern.
You could just one-shot them in that half a second that you have left.
But to get
That makes sense.
use your E-Blade now.
That makes complete sense.
Yes.
Well, let's go ahead and walk through our predictions here.
Okay.
VGJ score.
VGJ is.
I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Okay.
All right, it's
Okay.
an intelligent man mightn't agree with me,
Okay.
but I honestly think the bounty hunter might have what they take. Right? They needed to find the wyvern.
Okay.
I'm not even convinced myself.
Yeah, you're really you took a second there and you're like, do I really want this? I don't.
VGJ. Ooh.
All right.
All right. I will say, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about GG.bet right now. Let me
Okay.
tell you about the value bet here. Okay. I don't know if they've had a chance to update the live odds, but if not, get in there, guys. This is your chance to make millions on this Immortal draft.
Billions.
If Immortals win this one,
Oh,
my God. My God.
would be a beauty.
My God.
Would be a beauty.
So, we'll be getting in there right shortly.
Yes. Waiting on one player. Is it Immortals?
Oh,
yeah.
you know.
It sure is.
I honestly cannot wait to see how they lane this excellent draft from Immortals. Like, what did they do? Did they put the Legion in the jungle?
Is the Sven support potentially?
That was in the NA Classic.
Yeah, it was.
Sven support could work.
When you have Gyro, you might want to put him safe lane. You put the off lane Legion. They have a mid lane Lone Druid, support Gyrocopter, support Bounty Hunter, or not Gyro, sports fan rather.
Yeah, sports fan.
I mean, that's what I would think.
It's not totally awful. I'm sticking with Immortals actually.
Not totally
You've convinced
awful.
me. I couldn't convince myself, but
Wow. What an argument.
I know. Seriously, it has some potential.
And
Right?
it could happen.
Oh.
Hey, speaking of our
Oh, they updated it all right.
Oh, you got to get in there because once this game starts, it's only going to get worse there, guys. But I'm telling you, think of the value right here.
The
on
value play
GG.bet.
for going on Immortals is what you're saying.
It's the value play.
That's what you're saying.
you just gotta wait for it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, and him.
Oh, hey, we're back,
Hey.
guys. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
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 Are we in the game yet?
Hey!
We are. Okay, folks. So they'll pick their heroes real quick, but again, it is
Who's
going to
playing
be.
Sven? Febby, yeah, support Sven.
Yeah,
Nice
so it is
call.
support Sven.
Okay, all
It
right.
is Forev on the Legion Commander. The VGJ Storm lineup is going as we would expect. MP Gyrocopter, he loves this hero. QO, Lone Druid.
Yeah,
so
actually, I like. Let's go Immortals.
Yeah, so
Honestly,
Immortals.
It could happen.
They've got a decent draft here. We will see how it goes. We will jump to our casters. Going to be Suns Fan and Trent Pax.
Thank you, Mott, and your beautiful, beautiful mustache. Suns Fan here with Trent. We have Immortals, the Random Kings, or, well, maybe not so much, against VGJ Storm. Trent, how's it going, buddy?
I'm impressed. Hunter, the big play, trying to be. I mean, if there was one thing for Liquid to do it, obviously, it was a pretty cool strat. It worked out. They won the game. But Immortals, they love Bounty Hunter. I mean, they pick this thing all the time. One of Dubo's most played heroes. So you should think that therefore they've got that same kind of logic in their head. They know how to play the hero. And we're going to make these carries all work.
Yeah, I'd love to see this work.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a support Sven work.
I mean, I like support Sven. It's not even the most wild thing we've ever seen, right? It's fairly common.
Back in the day, you used to see it occasionally. It was pretty awful, though, if I do remember correctly.
It's had its issues. It's extremely good against physical based lineups, right? In this case, against a Templar Assassin, if he's big saves.
Well,
of course, Morphling might steal it and then just give Warcry to them too. And
yeah,
there's some issues.
All right, what is the Morphling here? The stand-in Osaka, Ahsoka. I'm gonna say Osaka because I'm playing a lot of Pandemic apparently. Ahsoka. What spells can you steal that are very helpful? A lot
you can use Invis from the Shadow Walk. That's kind of cool. Even just like a Shuriken, the quick burst. I think Burrow Strike was an example of being one of the best kind of things, right? Yeah. It's something that lets you stun, disable on multiple heroes, and follow up well with the waveform. So in that sense, I would say that the Stormhammer is pretty good in the same way. Try and get multiple hero stuns, a waveform through.
Can you build a bear?
As well, yes, you can. But don't give them items. The other go won't be press the attack, right? You could give it to yourself and just like keep fighting and stuff like that.
But the real question is, can you get Caustic Finale? Very important.
No.
Are you sure?
Well, especially because there's no Sand King. Like from his own team.
Yes.
No, it won't work. Because
how
would that work?
What do you mean, how would it work?
I mean, if you're playing as the Sand King, you'll have it, but once you morph back to Morphling, it doesn't just like stay on your hero.
Oh, I know, but you get it temporarily. I was kind of kidding because it's awful, but you took it a little far. What level can you get
I have
that?
to question you sometimes.
That's
Dubu
true.
does his classic play up top where he double stacks the wave to help out his offlaner, and he already has a really strong offlaner in Forev on the Legion Commander. Usually we see this when they have like a weaker hero.
Bottom lane might have some action, and Homing Missile does apply there, and they're going to get the first blood. Good start here. As Snake King now in a 3v1 temporarily, but
that Caustic didn't save him. I mean, as amazing as it is, we'll have to see.
Yes, that is definitely true. Gracious. Could you turn on your sound?
It is on.
Pax?
My sound is on.
Oh, terrific. Great. So I'm not hearing anything from these things, I mean.
This sound.
That would be perfect. Thank you so much. We're going to have some more action here in the bot lane. MP doesn't have a Rocket Barrage yet, but not really going to need it as the Sand King falls to the grave. And Febby and company are able to get out safely now as Flea is left in this lane alone for now. But should be an interesting game nonetheless. We see the Wyvern picked before the random Legion Commander, and we've seen this 3 times now as far as randoming into direct counters, which has been truly unfortunate for each respective team. You'd think they'd learn their lesson when it comes to randoming, but I guess not, as Trent will be with us in just a moment, friends. Don't you worry. You're going to have to listen to me just for a little bit longer. But QO in the mid lane against 747 on TA so far. Looks like TA is doing just fine. It's essentially even right now in this mid lane. No rotations yet though, so we'll see if Flea wants to do anything with the level 2 Tusk at the current point in time. And MP looks like he's going to get some TP support from the support Sven along with Dubu on the Bounty Hunter. They're going to try to apply some pressure here to Snake King on the Sand King.
I'm back, buddy.
Oh, welcome!
Can you hear now?
Yes, thank God. It's so disorienting not hearing sounds. Silent cast no longer. Thank you, sir.
Close one.
As now we talk and we miss a kill. Looks like Legion Commander did die in the top lane, but might have some action bot. See if they want to set up here on Snake King. There's the Stormhammer. There's the Janata as well. Burrow Strike is out, though. Homing Missile will connect. Not sure if they're going to have enough damage here. Then this nice Snowball, mitigating a little bit of damage. Snake King on the run, extremely low. Another right click will do it. The War Cry is popped, but the Wand will keep the Sand King alive and flee.
The big
force
save.
the enemy to flee.
That Snowball, that pretty much secured it. I think they would have got the kill for sure if it weren't for that. And obviously the weakness of the support duo is certainly showing off here. When Febby just... It's tough to be a melee hero in those scenarios. You know, if that's a ranged hero, those extra taps are easy.
Yeah, I talked about this mid lane. It's a little bit of a strange one as of late since we haven't seen a lot of these heroes. It looks like 747 is going to be forced out. Yeah. Thoughts on TA versus the old Lone Druid?
I mean, Kyo started off well here, right? He's got the Orb of Venom. He just keeps harassing Araya over and over with the bear. And then the big question will just be level 5. And we'll look for that big root play, maybe a rotation. The Bounty Hunter is the... Oh, another Snowball down bottom to dodge that missile.
It's an easy dodge against that homing missile. You got to keep that in mind. Dubo's still here, so a 3v2 technically in Immortal's favor, but the Burrow Strike will connect, and they're going to find the Bounty Hunter, but here's the Stormhammer being applied. Snake King's in a lot of trouble, pops that wand again, but will fall in the end. MP, by the way...
Look at this support, Sven. He's still going.
He's still going, Flea. All right. Heals up a little bit there. Febby's actually going to completely commit and die to the tower.
Didn't commit.
Boy.
He half committed. That was the issue. He didn't go all in.
Can we talk about MP's skill build right now?
The 2 missile against the hero that keeps dodging missile. I think the problem is that the same thing will just happen with Rocket Barrage. Where, number one, they're going to be playing near the creep wave because it's the Sand King anyway, right? And then the other problem would be that he can just snowball during Rocket Barrage or he can snowball during the homing missile. So I think that in the combination of his supports and them being weaker, he needs to go for a skill build that assists them a little bit better, and that's why he has the double missile.
Spirit Bear will live. The Arctic Burn, not quite enough. Don't you think one is more spammable than the other, though? I mean, we're talking about a 90 mana spell versus 130.
I think Homing Missile enables the Sven a lot more than the Rocket Barrage does,
true.
though.
Yeah, true enough. Fred.
I could go either way, though, honestly. I don't...
Well, regardless of whether it's right or not, it's interesting to see, nonetheless. As Febby is now rotated to the mid lane for now, with a 1-0-1 build on the support Sven. Really looking forward to see what kind of build he goes for. But probably not going to be too out of the ordinary. Essentially, probably Drums Blink, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Maybe an eventual Ag. Will we ever see Ags on this hero?
I mean, in a game like this, I don't know. You have a lot of carries, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, top lane, press the attack for Rev. Trying to get away here. He'll be forced out, half HP right now. Will live to see another days. Mid lane, some pressure being applied to 747. Stormbolt is there, and the bear is just doing so much damage to 747. A couple more right clicks will do it, but... The TP supports have come in the form of Wyvern. Okay, they actually end up getting the kill thanks to the root. The bear's stuck inside the ice shards for now. Will they be able to get this bounty? This is bigger than a kill, actually. He will die one way or the other and flee in the meantime. Getting quite low. Febby, again, just going super deep. Still has Warcry available. The double Burrow Strike. Snake King has come to save the day. Caustic Finale applied as well as Dubu will fall. And Febby, perpetually on the run, it seems, in this game. Has pretty much no mana to speak of. And the Burrow Strike will finish him off.
Okay, so that's now 2 kills on the Sven and 2 kills on the Bounty Hunter. They got to be careful.
Oh, that's
Canada
true.
support's going down again here. You got to watch out for the get in my game. I can almost guarantee this is going to happen. I mean, it was meant to be designed as an easier challenge, but they have a long way to go before level 6.
All right, let's look at the
top lane
real quick. Yeah, Asaka in some trouble. That was a combination of pronunciations between the city and the player.
You're getting very good at this.
Goddamn pandemic. Jesus. It's a great game, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. MP right now, level 3 homing missile. It does a lot of damage. Although this was slightly nerfed somewhat recently. I believe it takes more hits than before, but it does less damage. I feel like
the max damage was also much higher.
Yeah, the max damage.
Didn't it go to like 500 or something before? It was something stupid?
Yeah, it was very, very high. Yeah. But nobody really maxed it, and now we're seeing it here. So.
And now you can force staff it. Or Hurricane Pike it away from yourself. You've got to watch out for that from the
pretty sick. Still have not seen that once in any game that I've watched or played, so probably not great. 747 right now in the mid lane, being harassed perpetually, gets the root again, does QO. Got to be such an annoying lane. Of course, he does have the pure damage to get that bear low from time to time, but he'll just TP him back.
At this point, though, VGJ have almost gotten all 3 of the top. I mean, in fact, they're tied right now in terms of last hits right now, rather, with the Snake King is just a little bit behind MP. Oh, there we go. They easily leapfrogged on over. So, that 1K difference in the net worth being explained right there. Very high last hit numbers right now on the Dire side. They're not too far behind on the Radiant, but you really don't want this stuff to get out of control. You can see right now Stan King's in the mid lane, cleaning up a bit for himself, pushing out the wave. while Ryoya starts working on some of these stacks. Maybe gonna start pulling some of these ancients for himself, as it looks like the top one has a single stack for him.
Yeah, it looks like these dire heroes will be spotted out by Dubu. Oh, are they going to cancel? No, he does not cancel it, actually. The snowball into the epicenter. They're going to get the kill. Dubu not able to cancel with the Shuriken in time, and Snaking attempting to get out, but will get stunned into a duel. This looks to be the first duel kill for Forev in the game. That was extremely surprising that he didn't cancel that epicenter.
I think it was that he really wanted to make sure they got the duel. So they were trying to play it to the absolute last second to make sure they commit for the snowball. He didn't want them to stop there, so it ended up costing the support, but it's kind of worth it for the duel.
Yeah, for sure. And up until that point, I mean, even now, Snaking is doing an amazing job as far as net worth is concerned, towards the top of the list along with Morphling right now.
Yeah, he should have a very early Blink Dagger, and he's actually already eyeing up in towards a Spirit Vessel, too.
Oh, my. Yeah, that's going to be pretty nice. Is Dubu scouting things out here, 747 in the jungle. There was a scan, so I think they know that Dubu is here. I assume that's theirs. The dust is popped. They're going to find him, and Snaking with the urn, with the Burrow Strike. They're looking to give 747 the kill, and he'll
Can I get out of my game? Oh, they already completed that today, didn't they? They probably did.
Probably everybody has at this point, right?
So we're just waiting on Immortals to find.
So it's before level 6, right?
Yep.
Kill a hero 3 times before level 6. Their level 6, that is. As a top tier 1 will be pounded upon right now. Oh, I hear an LC. Oh, she's just chilling.
She's popping off. Just press the attack, and showing her big wings up against the Wyvern.
Kind of cool to see that hero again. The hero that's kind of just dropped off the face of the earth for the most part.
Yeah, pretty surprising, I would think, that the hero's been so absent. I think still a very strong off-laner, especially when the pool feels rather limited right now. Bottom lane, they're trying to set up here onto Osaka.
Oh, so you said Osaka this time, by the way.
I don't know how you're supposed to say it.
Ahsoka's Dubu. He's looking for the courier. He's trying to decide between the two. That homing missile does a lot of damage, but there's not going to be any follow-up to speak of.
Can we just say you are? Can we just go with that? Because that's what I'm going to go with.
All right, fine. Yawar. Is it actually Yawar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've been told.
I would have been calling him that to begin with, and if I knew it was him. I love Yawar, by the way. One of the nicest kids I've ever met, and apparently extremely toxic in pub games.
Perfect.
Yep. That's kind of the contrast you see in NA. But one of my favorite players that I've managed, for sure.
Looks like they just caught out a Dire Observer ward here down bottom. Febby gonna get a little bit of gold, some experience for himself. Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Well, looks like we're going to have a smoke attempt here. Perhaps a Stanking. Not quite level 6 yet on this Wyvern. Once that Winter's Curse comes into play, Immortals have to be careful, especially with the bear.
Well, Febby has a lot of branches in its courier.
Oh, we're going to go for that challenge, huh? As Flea will attempt to flee away from the homing missile, but to no avail. But the urn charge is there.
This looks like a challenge. Fill your courier with iron branches, except for this stash. And the backpack. Keep it that way the entire game.
What is this? What is that? Could be a challenge.
Febby's putting some money in.
That would be an interesting challenge. Burrow Strike applied to MP in the bot lane. The Stormhammer is there as well. MP still has his ult to work with. Rocket Barrage is available. As you are laughing maniacally right now.
I have a bug on me.
There's a huge
bug on my head.
I don't want to hear about bugs. I have a very great fear. Snaking attempting to get out. Gets the urn charge off, and it looks like Dubu's in a lot of trouble. But the Stormhammer will get the kill as Flea attempting to get out. It'll be a trade for now. He's going to get the Hell Salve off. They're looking for the dual kill, but the homing missile will be the one to finish him off. As there's the buyback actually on the Snaking. The Burrow Strike only applied to the bear. Forev with the duel. Do they have enough damage to actually take him out while in that duel? Doesn't look so. But the Winter's Curse comes in from the side. Snaking finally level 6. Snaking. Burrow Strike up in a couple seconds. He's going to be able to get a kill with it. And the bear is extremely low. Call down coming in as it looks like you are just absolutely... Are you okay, Trent? As Ahsoka will drop to the deck as well.
I was trying to put him on top of you, to be honest.
No! I would scream like a little child, no doubt about it.
Make me not do it.
All right. 747 looks to be dropping as well. As the action, the beautiful ice shards, but MP's gonna be forced to TP out, but the cancel is there from Flea, doing an amazing job. Still has Waller's Punch to work with. Dubu level 5, Invis another 8 seconds, gets Waller's Punch to the face. Coming back here. Do they have TP support? Don't get that close to me, Trent. Oh, Lord. I don't care. Get it away from me. Dubu attempting to get out of dodge, but will not. You know, I have a story about that. Seriously, I have an actual phobia of bugs. Trent, right, I will hurt you.
It's a good thing going on my hand and not yours.
Oh, my God. Are you okay?
Colorado's dangerous, guys.
I guess. You missed a lot of action.
Did I? Did I get like 2 team trees? Nah, it's okay. He's all his trees.
Reginald, get rid of this bug. Snake King, he's getting home missile right now. Gets the Burrow Strike off. Ahsoka, a.k.a. Yawar, is there for moral support. Stormhammer will connect. Can they actually find a kill here is the question. MP gets another homing missile off. Level 4 homing missile right now. It's going to deal considerable damage to the Wyvern. Is it going to apply a lot of pressure to Kyo? There's the Burrow Strike. I hear a duel going off, but that's the Rocket Rush finally coming through for MP. They're going to find a kill. It's a 2-for-1 right now.
Oh, Febby's got the trees.
He's trying to get out, gets the snowball to maybe get a little bit of damage. Is it a 360? They're not going for anything.
Plant the trees. He's going. Hehe's going. He sees the body. He's pinging. Boom, boom,
One,
boom.
2,
Yeah.
3. Congratulations, Fabius. He finally, they actually get a, I think that's the first bounty they've ever gotten. Am I incorrect in this? Slacks. Oh my God. Why do you do this to me? If you knew the story behind my fear, you would not be making fun of me right now. Oh God, please. Now it feels like bugs are all over me. I quit.
All right. Sorry, everyone.
All right, we're back.
Things are a little out of control here.
We're professional.
Yes. Very professional. That's why we have players dropping sticks into trees on top of dead bodies.
But is that their first bounty?
I kind of want to say so.
Because they did.
Except they, well, to be fair, they just did the Radiant one, right? This is their first in-game achieved bounty, I believe.
But to be fair, that wasn't really planned either. As QO looks like he's going to get punched in the face as the epicenter coming through. The duel as well. Will they be able to get it in time? QO drops to the deck. The duel will not get the kill. As there's the Winter's Curse. Cold Embrace keeping 747 alive for now as they're going to attempt to chase. MP has pretty much no mana at all. As the waveform comes through as well, they're going to be able to get that kill. It's a 2-for-1 right now. As Farev looks like he's going to go to the north as the snowball will try to track him as Febby now pops that war cry. Attempting to take out Snake King, but will be forced out. 4 seconds left on the Stormhammer. They're going to get the Burrow Strike off. The Arctic Burn doing a lot of damage. They're going to turn around and kill Dubu, though, and Febby forced the Stormhammer on the defensive. As this action just will not end. Farev TPing out. Will he be successful? No, the Snowball again. I feel like that's canceled 3 TPs this game, and the Waveform will finish him off. It's a 3-for-2. Stormhammer, nice Cold Embrace. Flee. Oh, you're going to be met by Febby's God Strength. This is a support Sven, though. Maybe not hitting as hard as he'd like to. And he finally finds the range, despite not even being close. That's a range hero right there.
Oh, very nicely done to clean that one up. Now the question is, were there any tracks that 4 tracks that fight, but still 2,039 gold for the Dire side. It was a 3-for-5, so I guess that's a little understandable there. But there was at least some recovery there for Immortals, and they do still hold the net worth lead with very high values here. You can see Gyro just over 6K, 5,800 on the Lone Druid as well, and he is going for this ranged bear form. Got himself that Mask of Madness, and looks like the Dragonlance probably coming up next year for him.
Yeah, probably. So it's going to be the Sniper Lone Druid build. Or he could transfer that to... Actually, has he gotten level 10 yet? It's not quite there yet, I don't think. Oh, yeah. 250 health. So he did not go the attack range, actually.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess he can start out either way. He is currently eyeing up the Dragonlance. I mean, you don't need that much range, honestly, and 250 health is quite a bit. Especially when you're in a game where everyone's fighting a lot.
Okay. Okay, Trent. Probably right, though. It's a little overkill. It's at a certain point, you would think. As this Tier 1 tower, 747 will be claiming for his team. But yeah, that bounty was the first one that they tried to get and were successful in. Because the Radiant one, they random 4 heroes. The system wanted them to have that bounty.
We have a pity mechanism built in. It's like Mario Party or something, you know, when you're coming from behind there.
Yeah, I love those comeback mechanics for sure. Stan King, Arctic Burn is there. Gets off the Splinter's Blast. A lot of damage being done to this Tier 2. It looks like VGJ wants to respond, though. We have TP support in the form of 747. I hear an Epicenter coming in. They'll be able to cancel it. They do. Burrow Strike comes in. He's just going to get blown up right off the bat. That is not what you're looking for if you're VGJ. Homing Missile goes on to Flee, and they're just going to duel the crap out of him. That's 2 kills in the blink of an eye. Immortals. I mean, these track kills are going to add up real quick, Trent. Winter's Curse. Is that going to be enough to actually get a kill on Febby? It's going to be close, but no. Splinter's Blast comes in as well, but Febby will eventually get through it, and Stan King stuck in the side.
They're in a bit of a tough spot. You have a Morphling and a TA that just aren't quite ready right now, whereas this Lone Druid has gone for a quicker build. Dragonlance on the Gyrocopter as well, so they're both just a little bit tanky, just enough damage that they don't really have anything to deal with them at the moment. And what looks like a, this full-on carry draft is working. They have Max Warcry chase us, they say.
Burrow strike onto 2. Stormhammer coming through there. There's the call down. Gyro's getting extremely low. Stain King will fall, though. VGJ is falling apart at the seams. Cold Embrace will keep Tusk alive for now, but for how long? Not long enough. And a duel coming through as well on top of the track. And it looks like Random Gaming is going to win this game.
I don't know if this buyback's going to work.
You are in a lot of trouble, getting extremely low. Fred's just going to right-click him with the press the attack. And you're right. 747 buys back, but at what cost exactly?
This is a 5-man draft. They draft these heroes. These are 4 randoms and a bounty hunter. Is this the new meta?
This should not work.
Is this the world that we live in?
Let's hope we don't have to go through this again, Trent. Do we need to nerf randoming yet again? There were some rumblings about that, the possibility of turning randoms where when you random, you have a higher chance to get a lower cost hero.
Yeah, that was, I think PPD was mentioning that he would like to see it as like the top of the pool and the bottom of the pool is in randoms, and then like kind of none of that middle ground. So you think about things like Meepo or Techies, high chance of randoming it, but you still have a high chance of randoming maybe Winter Wyvern.
Right.
I would have been okay with that.
Which was picked and
Which
bought.
was picked and paid for in many moonbucks.
Many moonbucks might be lost in this game for VGJ. But it's not over yet. They did buy back on a couple very important heroes. But again, you're going against a Wyvern. One of those heroes, the better the opposite team is doing, the better your ult will be. And then on top of that, Morphling can become the... it's actually 2 heroes that scale based on how strong the enemy is. So that could be good. We'll see. Looks like Yawar's working on Lincoln's, by the way. Febby scouting things out, has the Invis rune. We're going to talk really very nice and soft here so they don't hear us. TA's in a lot of trouble. Cold Embrace is there. Oh, nice. The double Burrow strike into an epicenter. Lots of damage being done. Stormhammer comes through as well. Tusk, he gets off the snowball. Looks like the Winter's Curse will be used, but to not much avail, unfortunately, for VGJ. Tusk just dropped, but it is for a Gyro. It's a 1-for-1. Duel coming in, though. That's going to be a kill on the TA. And VGJ looks to be on the run. Stain King, everybody is tracked for Rev. No duel, of course, but they have a lot to catch up as this Shuriken is just bouncing left, right, and center. Who will they be able to take out? Stain King will be next, yes. 4 dead. The only survivor is Morphling. He does find a kill, but Yawar might be in some trouble here. Strengthening to morph, or morphing to strength, I should say. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. He does not have wait for him. Another 1 second. It's going to be close.
I mean, he's
Shuriken,
still tracked
no
up
mana.
Here. They might chase.
Farev really wants this kill. He actually finds the kill, but no. Not enough for Yawar to get away. As a Walrus Punch comes in now. QO still has Savage Roar to work.
Get out of there, man.
Yeah, Farev really wants this duel. See if they wait for it. 4 seconds. Oh, no. The Shuriken again. And somehow, Dubu lives through this entire engagement.
Well, if there's one thing that Immortals have proven to be good at, it's death balling. Yes. Playing as a 5-man unit, team fighting, those kind of moments. That's kind of stuff that they've always excelled at. And their hardest games, the ones that always look most impressive from them, are when they find these crazy ways to initiate engagements that maybe your enemy's not expecting, or something like you're trying to force an enemy lineup that doesn't want to fight you into an engagement. You kind of trick them and think that they have this numbers advantage or something like that when really they don't. And that's why they love heroes like Bounty Hunter or Spirit Breaker, where they can track you across the map, kind of deceive you into thinking that you have some sort of an advantage. In this particular game, they don't even need to really do those kind of mind games or tricks or anything like that, because they see how weak this TA and this Morphling are right now, and they're just saying, okay, we're just going to keep running at them. We're fighting them. I mean, they're buying back on these heroes, and look how far they've plummeted. I mean, it's a 10k lead.
It's quite the lead right now. Of course, no racks down yet, but TA just a Blink Dagger, so not really hitting very hard. Halfway done with the Deso, as looks like we're going to have a dual kill. A very easy one at that onto Flea. And that is 72 dual victory damage so far for Farev. And we're talking about a 21-minute game.
Like, very deep ward set up here from the Radiant. Looking to choke out this map. So easily done by a Bounty Hunter who has his pipe, so that'll be his aura item choice this game. And they move on into the Roshan pit.
Yeah, and this is going to be a freebie. As bot lane, Snake King he's hitting the tower with that claw of his. Won't really be enough to scare anybody. At least not Immortals for now, as the Aegis will be claimed by QO. So he is hitting like a truck right now. Legion Commander, on the other hand, did pick up a halberd just now.
Snake King, can he get out of here?
Yeah, well, there's a homing missile. And the right click's trying to cancel this Blink Dagger. He does have it available now into the Burrow Strike. See if he can TP away. Now, the rocket
it's too fast now.
In quite a bit. Doesn't have his Force Staff yet. Not that that would really help in that situation. Savage, we're actually going to help him. Interesting choice.
Yeah, I think he thought the bear would be able to catch up maybe and get the Orb of Venom on so he wouldn't be able to blink, but there's no boots on the bear.
Yeah, that's a poor bear. But the lone druid, he's happy. He's a happy boy.
Yeah, he is a right-clicking machine. He doesn't care about his bear.
He went for a Mask of Madness Diffusal, by the way. Looks like the Spirit Vessel is complete now.
And he's going to top this Templar Assassin right now, too. But she will be able to blink out in time. There is still waiting on that Blink Dagger from Febby. So their initiation is still relatively weak. I mean, that was one of the main things that they were bringing up on the panel. Like, you have to basically hope for a route. So far, now that they have this Blink Dagger on LC, they've been doing a nice job of the pickoff plays. But they didn't turn that last one into much. And now they're scouted by a Sentry Ward in the mid. But, oh,
all right.
Swing and a miss there.
I feel like they've been finding the routes. We talked about that as being a disadvantage, but their initiation with roots has been on par with the best of them, I feel like.
But hey, very quickly, 3K of that lead has vanished.
That's true.
And they didn't get anything on the high ground despite all of that. Despite the game looking like it was over. They never got that tier 3.
I mean, again, you have Morphling, and especially the Winter's Curse from Wyvern. Very scary to go up high ground against.
I would say we haven't even seen a very fantastic one yet from Stanking either.
Exactly.
And with the Aether Lens now, the range much higher. You would think he should be able to find one of these key ones on one of these targets like the Lone Druid.
And they're going to try for this as the Burrow Strike onto the bear. They really want to take him out. The Battle Cry is applied, so a lot of extra damage.
Look at them spreading from the Lone Druid to make sure it doesn't happen.
Yeah, everybody very far apart. Wyvern. He does have a smoke to maybe come from the side or something like that, but nothing's going to surprise Immortals, at least not yet.
Oh, they are chasing after Yuara up here, but the Lincoln Sphere, it looks like it just blocked the duel? I think it did.
Oh, they can actually apply some pressure here, perhaps. Snaking. He's homing missiled. Arctic Burn onto the bear. They're not going to be able to kill this. Snaking will get stunned. But no follow-up whatsoever as the creeps will push in top, and it's going to force QO back. So, you're right, this lead is dissipating. But they do have Aegis, and they have yet to really try to force the issue with it.
Oh, well, I'm getting a little bit worried here, I have to say. There's TA. It was much easier when she had nothing, but with the Deso, she is decently scary if the Warcry doesn't get off. Gyrocopter, he's sitting at 1,740 HP. He also has 21 armor, and that's without Warcry or anything. So he is pretty tanky, but we have a combination of magic and physical bursts from the Dire, especially once Yuara actually gets somewhere with his items. And yeah, he actually just switched from a, I think it was a Dragon Lance / Hurricane Pike into the E-Blade. He's going that route. I definitely like that decision.
All right. E-Blade Express for Yawar. I like it. TA, on the other hand, if 747 can get this BKB, that is going to be a huge deal for him.
Snake King's tracked up here.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Gets the Burrow Strike off on the other side. Lincoln's is applied by Yawar. You don't want that to run out. All right, he's going to Stormhammer to take it off into the homing missile. Beautifully done. And that's another track kill. I say another, but we haven't really seen one in the past few minutes. And that's a large reason why they can't extend this lead.
Yeah, and they're keeping that ball form as they move around here. So currently the Aegis is only 1 minute left here. Ideally, you got to at least get this tier 2 in the mid lane. That should be your goal right now, I would say, for Immortals.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't just go top, though. The tier 3 quite low.
Well, you saw that Yawar had pushed it all the way into the racks.
That's true. Morphling is such an interesting hero now, because you don't really have Replicate to be able to get away as easily. Still very hard to kill because of the morph and waveform.
And Yawar was a person who was picking this hero a lot, even when it wasn't really considered to be that strong. Like, it was one that he almost always played in pubs. It was one that his teams would pick in pro games. And it's kind of interesting that he's still into the hero. He's still playing it so much like the old morph.
I was going to say. They're split pushing. So look at these lanes. Top and bottom are pushed in for VGJ right now. Despite having this massive deficit at 26 minutes against these heroes like the Lone Druid. Do you think that these builds that we're seeing from Immortals might end up biting them, potentially?
I don't think so. I think that they're actually in a pretty fine spot. Like, they just need to start shutting down the split push, and currently we have that Shadow Blade picked up by Forev. Now, I see he's got a certain something queued there. Could you please explain that to me on the Legion Commander?
Oh, it's the Achanim Scepter. Many people pronounce it incorrectly by saying Aghanims. Just an FYI, you have to put a little Achanims in it. It's an Arabic name, actually.
Thank you.
Forev, but yeah, the Aghanim Scepter is, I don't know, man. It's risky. It extends the duel, but of course it makes you magic immune, and no one can do damage to either target other than the two that are in the duel themselves. So it could screw you over, or it could be God tier. There's kind of no middle ground, I feel like.
Okay.
That's my expert
Are you
opinion
surprised?
on
It doesn't jump out to me as being an item this game.
If he had like 300 damage, extra damage from duel, maybe. But, I mean, 72 is okay, but I don't know.
Just shadowing his allies here. Hoping that they'll jump. Where's the push from the Radiant? And Gyro is just rocket barraging a lane bottom. Lone Druid's trying to push mid, but honestly, they don't have the best wave clear. It's not that fast, especially in comparison to some of these dire heroes. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin just using this space to farm up some of the neutrals in the jungle. And they're catching up very fast.
I feel like Forev just had a bunch of money and then doesn't anymore. Did he buy something?
He bought a Shadow Blade.
I thought he had that already. Anyway, Stormhammer, top lane. We're going to finally see some action. Fear onto Yawar. He's going to get blown up in the duel. Could not get the Strength Morph off in time. And that is truly unfortunate. It does have buyback, but that's a minute with no Morphling. And that's the hero that you're kind of depending on. I mean, the TA is important, but the Morphling, I feel like, is the hero that actually wins you the game.
And that should be the first of many picks you would think from them with that Shadow Blade being picked up now. You have that option now to come right out of the invis, pop the Lincolns, and try and get the duel off before Yawar can do anything, because he doesn't have Replicate anymore. It's not as big as an issue as it used to be. It should be a lot easier to catch out.
Yeah.
And we'll be waiting on the Aegis and Cheese likely before they make any more drastic maneuvers here from the Radiant side. But Snaking, again, playing a fantastic game so far. He's keeping pace with the Legion Commander.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing it. And not only that, but he's keeping these lanes pushed as well. Like, if they have to come all the way down here just to deal with the lane or just to deal with him, even if they get the kill, probably still worth it, especially with your Morphling on the deck right now.
Yeah, he's just going to chill out and wait.
Stand King. They're looking for a potential duel here. Shadowblade is
Very
now
nice
up.
Ward place
He's going to jump right in. There's the duel. And all 747 can do is right-click a couple times. It will not be enough to save poor Stand King. And that's 108 damage on top of the regular damage, of course.
Yeah. You don't really expect that jump and backstab back there, but they had a great observer placed up on the high ground. That's what gave them the vision of the Winter Wyvern as well. So they will now make that movement top. No Aegis required with the Wyvern being down. The key hero in this defense.
Yeah, it's going to be an easy tier 3, if not more. Warcry's there along with Battlecry, but there's the fortification.
I think they're going to commit for the melees.
Yeah, they might, as the homing missile does connect onto 747, and this melee Rax is donezo. In fact, the initiation from Snake King is completely thwarted, misses out on the Burrow Strike.
No, they need to try and take a fight here with the
terrible position here. There's a call down as well. The duel, is it available? Not for another 45. So actually just used it onto the TA. They have enough damage to actually take him out. It's not going to be enough for the actual duel kill, but the kill, a kill is a kill at the end of the day. And
Yawar coming, he's trying.
He actually just tried to TP out of the Winter's Curse is pretty big though. Into the epicenter. Is it going to be enough to actually? No, it's not nearly enough.
And it didn't save Yawar either.
It is not nearly enough. And this looks to be the beginning of the end in game 1. As Immortals are just completely dominating right now. Warcry applied. They're not going to deal too much damage. Febby jumps in with that newly picked up Blink Dagger. Nice snowball, although it's going to put them in harm's way now, potentially. Forev, no duel for another 10 seconds. Cold Embrace. And we see the Stormhammer coming in. That was actually Yawar's, I believe. Is they're going to find a kill. Going to find a couple, in fact. So Immortals are going to have to back up here. Febby. Oh, nice dodge. I don't even think that was intended to dodge a Stormhammer, but QO. He's going to right-click Snaking. You're in a lot of trouble, buddy. That's going to be enough for the kill as QO still has that Spirit Vessel applied. Ice Shards will not find anybody. And Febby, the support Sven, blinks to safety, at least for now. No TP, though. They could potentially still find this kill, but again, at what cost? Febby pops the Warcry. Do they actually have enough? No, they're going to give up.
Gonna let him go.
Let's look at this recap. Oh, my God. 3 buybacks.
Oh, it's been an absolutely wild game so far. Building all the way up to 10K and then slowly dwindling back down, thinking, wow, it kind of looks like Immortals are running out of gas here. And then suddenly one explosive fight, and they took the full top. Now, mind you, they actually didn't get that much mid. I thought after that next kill, there might be a second set of rags, but as you said, 3 buybacks did come out there from the side of VGJ. And we're going to have double E-Blades this game, as it's the Gyro E-Blade now picked up, even before Morphling can finish his. This was a Eternal Envy original.
Yeah, they're trying to finish a challenge a bounty that we never put in the game. So congratulations, you guys did it. 2 E-Blades.
Yeah, it's very good up against the Winter Wyvern too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Try and use that to save some of your allies, maybe if they're being cursed or something.
Refraction dispels. I forgot that was even a talent. That's pretty cool.
Speaking of dispels at level 20, we also have the Sven one coming up next. If he wants to go for the Stormhammer dispels enemies, since he's a support. Not going to be too insane this game. Nothing too great. Maybe just like taking off the E-Blade / Ghost Scepter if EOR tries to use it defensively.
I think this is going to be a last-ditch smoke effort here from VGJ. Of course, they'll be going against the Roche, Aegis, and Cheese.
They need to see some TPs back. They need like a wave pushed in or something.
Oh boy, if he finds this duel, he gets off the Winter's Curse. A lot of damage can be applied here to Stan King. I don't think he's going to find the kill yet. It's a nice snowball. Will mitigate some damage, but here comes the snowball. And they're going to put themselves in harm's way again. And 2 easy kills for Immortal. And with the number advantage here, 5v3. Buyback still on Wyvern, but
they just leave the gem. All right, he pops the smoke to get it.
And GG's called. Yeah, so game 1 in the books. Randoming 4 heroes has netted Immortals their first win of the entire tournament, I do believe.
Remember when we talked about if your enemy's just random and you spend all your moonbucks and lose and how demoralizing it is?
Yeah.
That looked like how demoralizing it is. They got completely run over. They got bounty hunted. And you probably feel like kind of crap because you just spent a ton of your resources. Yep. They spent almost nothing. In fact, they made moonbucks because of the bounties they completed on the side of Immortals. And they took the victory. And a very important one for them, too, as we all know that they did lose their first 2 games of the tournament.
Yep, that's definitely true. Now, do you think they could have picked better heroes? Was it a hero thing or... Because you know you're going against Immortals that are super aggressive in the early game. Could you go for better heroes or... is it just the outplay?
It felt like they were really close, and they were playing very well and split pushing and everything, but it was just like those couple catches, especially the Wyvern one between the tier 2 and the tier 3 mid was just... It's rough, right? Because you're in a spot that's usually safe, but up against this lineup, it's certainly not. So maybe a mistake there from Stan King, and that ends up losing them some key fights when they're trying to make that snowball back, but they would have